Hey folks, Colin here from Sumthins Recording, and we are continuing along here mixing a song from start to finish. Today we're going to be tackling the organ track. We're going to be looking at getting the organ to sit in with the rest of the mix today, but before we dive in, if you are ready to go a little bit deeper into the mixing process in its entirety and really start to hone your workflow as an audio engineer, then I have just the thing for you. It is my 7-step mixing checklist, and it's just a simple PDF that will walk you through the entire mixing process step by step to help you get professional and radio-ready mixes without any more of the hassle and without any more of the guesswork. It is a completely free guide, and you can download it below using the link in the video description. Now let's jump in here and start getting the organ inside the track. As we have with the previous videos here, I'm going to hit play and see if there's anything I need to tweak with the mix so far. We have our drums, bass, piano, acoustic, and electric guitar in. We're going to mix the organ in here and get that much closer to getting our mix finished. After our organ here, we will just have the lead guitar and the vocals. I might do the vocals first, or I might do the lead guitar first. I haven't quite decided, but let's get the organ in here and let's make sure our mix is sitting at a good point so far here. I'm actually pretty satisfied here with where everything is sitting so far. Let me pull up the organ and we'll take a listen. Let's see if we can get it balanced in the track here. So it's an organ track, but it's acting like a pad too. You can see it's pretty steady all the way through the track here, holding that same chord tone most of the time here. It might change in the bridge section, but for the most part, it's holding steady on this one chord. So it's actually at the same level as the piano here, which they were probably tracked at the same level. So that makes sense that they combine pretty well at the same level. I'm going to solo up the organ here, and we're going to pull in an EQ and start to get to work here. First move we're doing here is pulling in a high-pass filter, of course. It's the move I do most often first on a lot of these tracks here. I'm rolling up to about 182 hertz here, almost 200. You can see we're sitting right below where the bulk of the low-mid information is. There's no need for that lower octave to be there. We mainly want to hear that top end, which is what we're going to try and pull up and emphasize. So we have that top end glossy sort of pad sound to go or emphasize this organ tone, right? It is an organ, but we want to give it that glossy pad tone as well to sit with the piano. And I don't want this low end to fight with the guitars, the piano, or the bass guitar as well. Let's see if there's anything we need to cut in the mid-range. Otherwise, we'll move up to the top end. This is just a precautionary move here. So you can see boosting, we're at about 3.5K, boosting almost 8 dB here, wakes up the top end on the organ. It's kind of like pulling a blanket off the organ speaker, right? Going from being pretty low midly to having that brightness and that little bit of air on the top end here. So listen one more time without and then with this boost. So pretty low mid heavy. And suddenly we have energy up on the top end here. That's going to help our organ cut through in the mix and be heard and not just be felt. So let's throw this back in the mix and see where we're sitting now. That's feeling really, really good. I'm going to pull in the fat channel here and maybe do a little bit of compression on it with something not so flat, maybe something that has a little vibe to it. Let's try the 670, the Fairchild emulation here, and see if we can give the organ some vibe with this. Kick up the input a little bit. So we're getting some volume from it, of course, because I'm pushing the input gain so much, but we're also getting a little bit of drive from it as well. It's emphasizing that little bit of grit we got from pushing the top end so far there, that almost 8 dB up on the top end at 3.5K. It's emphasizing that, and it's helping the keyboard, the organ sound feel more full range in just the frequencies that we're in here. So we have our high pass, and we have our low pass filter in, but it's making our organ feel full in that range that we have isolated there. So listen one more time with and without everything here on the organ. Sometimes I feel like this gives me some extra width too. I could be wrong about that. It could be just my mind when I hear this. It could be just seeing that Fairchild emulation gets in my head. But I feel like I get some width from it. It feels like it makes the organ a little bit more full, and it gives it that extra grit, that extra drive on the top end. So we'll probably have to pull it down a little bit further now because of the extra volume we got from pushing the input gain. But let's set it inside the mix here. That's feeling really good. The last thing I'm going to do here, I think, is I'm going to send to this flat plate reverb here. All this is, we've talked about it before, I think at the beginning of the series. It's just this flat plate preset here from the Studio One Room Reverb. And then I've dialed up the length to about 6 seconds here. So it's a long plate reverb, a long flat plate sound, 6-second plate here. And then after it, just a little EQ rolling off the bottom end there. So I'm going to send from the organ to the flat plate verb here. Let's see what we have now. Trying the dual pen there, sometimes flipping your reverb to the opposite sides can give you the illusion of more width. It didn't feel like it helped there, so I took it off. Just rolled up the high pass here to almost 300 on the reverb, just to make sure we don't get too much muddiness from it. But it's sitting at a good level there that it's giving us that kind of, that glossy, verbed out kind of sound for a pad that's going to run through the whole song. So that's feeling really, really good. Let me do a before and after here on everything on the organ by itself, and then we'll throw it back in the track and you can hear it, everything, and I'll mute and unmute the organ so you can hear how it's serving our track. So here's after, and then I'll take off all our processing. Couple neat tricks to help your organ feel full when you're sitting in the track and to help it be heard. Boosting that top end helps you hear it inside the mix, not just feel it. And this Fairchild emulation here just helps the organ feel more full and gives it that kind of drive on the top end. And then last but not least, using that reverb there gives our organ some depth so it fills out the song overall. I hope that was helpful for you. As I mentioned at the beginning of the video, if you're ready to level up your mixes and really start dialing in a workflow as an engineer, then I have just the tool for you, and it is completely free. It is my 7-step mixing checklist, and you can download it below to start creating more professional mixes in less time. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next video.